here back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about my tattoos because this has been like very highly requested, and I think one of the main reasons why it's been so requested was because this was on my backup and not my main, so I think just like everyone was like kind of not knowing where to find it. But I'm doing an updated tattoo tour because everyone has just been asking, like every time I go live, everyone's like, oh my god, like your tats, like I need a tattoo tour. And also I wanted to show you guys my new bed because you guys are always asking for a room tour, and look at that. Looking good. I'm gonna put some Aquaphor on my lips before I start because I literally cannot go a second without having Aquaphor on my lips because I just love it, and I love the way it looks, and I love the way it feels too. So Aquaphor forever on lips. But yeah, so I really wanted to do a tattoo tour and just kind of give you the reasoning for my tattoos. I'm also going to tell you guys like the pain level and just kind of all the info you'll need about my tattoos. So I'm going to get started with the hand tats. So I always get questions, and a lot of people always, for one, they always ask me about my hand tattoos because it's not the exact design, but there is a design on Pinterest that I used for a reference. I did change it up, like there was like a panther as one of them, and I changed that up. I added the leaves or whatever, and I did the cross. So my hand tattoos are a little different than that photo, but that was the inspo for it. And for my hand tattoos, I really didn't care for there to be a meaning behind them, just because it was more like to fill in the space, if I'm being honest, because I knew that I wanted like a half sleeve to go into a hand and the finger tats. So it was never really like, oh, like I need it to all have a meaning. I am really big on tattoos having meanings. I think that tattoos should have meanings. But I also feel like there's sometimes where all tattoos don't need a meaning, and if you genuinely just like it, you genuinely just like it. It's your body, and don't let anyone tell you just because your tattoos don't have a meaning that you shouldn't get them, because sometimes there's just tattoos that you like the way they look. And yeah, for me, tattoos are art, and they're like art on your bodies, and they just, I don't know, I just feel like when you have tattoos, you have like a story on you, and it's just like such a beautiful thing. Not everyone feels that way, but that's me, and obviously I'm tattooing my body, so that's all that matters, is I'm happy with it. So those are the story behind my hand tattoos. They're really just for placement, if I'm being honest. My ones over here though, I was born March 7th. My favorite number in the whole world is 7 and 13. 13 and 7 are my lucky numbers. I love them with my whole heart. So I got 7 tattooed on me. I got a lightning bolt because I just always really wanted a lightning bolt. Like, I don't know why. I just always wanted one. I was always like, a lightning bolt? That's what I'm getting. I also got 1111 because I really believe in 1111. Anytime I see 1111, I always see it too. Like every night, I most of the time see it. And I'll always make a wish. Anything that I want to happen, I'll always wish on it. And I just feel like it's just like always been a thing for me. Like when I was little, I was just like, oh, 1111. Like I would like set an alarm for 1111. I've just always loved it. I have these flames. They're just a cute little design. Just a cute little design. Then I have the Medusa, and I also have the Lover's card. I'm actually a reader. Not a lot of people know that about me. I didn't start reading tarot cards until it's been maybe 2 years. I was never really into tarot cards as much, but regular cards are where it's at for me. That was how I learned. My Nana was a reader. She taught me when I was super young about it. And so I always just did it kind of normal deck of cards. But then I really wanted to get into tarot cards because I was like, I already know how to read a normal deck. Let's get into tarot cards. They really just always interest me. So I got into those. I do those now, but I do prefer the normal deck of cards. But the Lover's card is for sure my favorite. I mean, who doesn't love the Lover's card? Like, who doesn't? So I have that tattoo on me back here. And then I also have Medusa up here. And a lot of people always ask me about my Medusa tattoo because a lot of people get Medusa tattoos for being like a sexual assault victim or you know, something around that. My tattoo is not for that. I have genuinely always been obsessed with Medusa. Her story, I feel like it just really represents like woman, and it's like woman empowerment, and so that's kind of why I've always wanted a Medusa tattoo. Some people do have it for that reason, and my heart goes out to them. I literally can't even imagine what you're going through or what you went through, and I honestly feel for anyone that's been through that. I know that it's not a good experience, but mine isn't for that. So for everyone who always asks me, no, it's not for that. I just genuinely just love Medusa. The rose. So as you guys can see, Medusa's eyes are bleeding, and that kind of like goes down to the rose. So this is my wedding hand. And I was really big about getting my sleeve on my wedding hand because I knew I wanted the red rose on my hand. And it's my favorite tattoo. It really is my favorite tattoo because I just absolutely love it. And then up here, I have this little just like design, which is also mostly for placement. But it has butterflies on it. And the butterflies actually do represent something. I have a lot of butterflies. So any butterfly that's on me represents this. And I always say that butterflies are, for one, they're just a really good sign. When you see butterflies around, I always feel like it's a good sign. But also, butterflies go through so many different changes. I know this is said a lot, but to become like the beautiful butterfly, you're first a caterpillar, then you go to the cocoon, and there's like all these different changes in their life before they get to like spread their wings and be this like beautiful butterfly. And that really inspired me because that's kind of what I think about in my life. Sometimes I'm like, you know, like I'm gonna go through all of these changes, which I might not be the most happy in, I might not be the most successful in, I might not have the best life right now, but one day I will have the life that I dreamed of and I'll be genuinely happy. I just have to go through these changes to get there, and I have to go through these challenges to get there. So that's kind of what the butterflies represent for me, and that's why I have so many like butterflies all over me. Then I have this one, which is right in the middle, and it says life goes on, and this was like one of my first ones, and it's a rose, and it's kind of incorporated in the sleeve, but life goes on. And every day I look down on that tattoo and I'm like, it's just so true, because you will literally feel like everything is going wrong in your life, but life goes on. It does go on. This little broken heart, I got this before I got any of these hand tattoos, and I was at a party. I would have never done this before, but I was at a party and I was pretty heartbroken, not gonna lie. Like I was like going through it, and I saw the tattoo artist and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a broken heart. And everyone was like, why would you get a broken heart on your finger? And I was like, because one day I'm gonna look back at this broken heart and I'm gonna be like, damn, I was brokenhearted that night, but I'm happy now. And I do that every single day. And anytime I'm brokenhearted, I look down, like if I'm like really sad about something, I look down at that and I'm like, you know what? Remember that night? And then remember I was fine. I was fine. And so it's just like a reminder, and it's kind of just like a fun story, because it was like, I always think about that. I'm like, damn, like I was really sad that night and I could care less about that situation now. So life does go on. Those tattoos kind of both correspond, but life goes on. Life sucks sometimes, but it goes on, and it's going to go on for the rest of your life, and you just kind of got to remember that. I love roses, so there's a lot of roses on me too. Then I have this, and this says, she's proof that you can walk through hell and still be an angel. And that is one of my favorite tattoos I have, because it is so true. And a lot of people kind of like become cold-hearted after they've been broken so many times. And one thing that I will say about myself is I've never done that. And I've always been able to come back and still be a good person to people and just show them love and just kind of be the best person that I can. And so that is kind of what that tattoo represents, is like my strongness, I would say. That's what I like to say. So that tattoo is just like very important. And then over here I have, there's a little witch in all of us. I'm obsessed with spiritual things, as you guys know, witchcraft, anything like that. I've been obsessed with it. I didn't talk much about it, but like I said, my Nana was a reader, so my family has always kind of been into spiritual things. They're from my mom's side is from Massachusetts, so we grew up going to Salem all the time, and that's where they were from. And there was just, they didn't live in Salem, but they were really close to Salem, and just grew up going there all the time. And so I just grew up into that type of stuff, and it never kind of left me. So I always feel like there's a little witch in all of us, you know? So it's a cute little tattoo. It's also on Pinterest. I did find it on Pinterest. There's nothing wrong with finding tattoos on Pinterest, okay? Nothing wrong with it. But I have this little snake butterfly under it, which I absolutely love. I think it's so beautiful. The work on it is just crazy. Then I have this matching one with Talene right here that says, will never end, and hers say our stories, and mine says will never end, because I feel like me and Talene just have the best friendship, and she's literally my best friend in the whole world. She's probably like the only person in the world that I would say that I've never had one doubt about. Like from the moment we became friends, I was just like, I know she's gonna be there for the rest of my life. Like I just never had one doubt about her, and I love that. And we're long distance best friends, and we make it work. And like anytime I need someone, like she's there, and anytime she needs someone, I'm there. And so we just have such a good friendship. And yeah, so we got matching tattoos for that. I also have another matching tattoo over here, and I was actually getting it removed, and then I stopped because I noticed that there was a lot of other people kind of putting it in my head to get it removed, and I was like so against like getting tattoos removed, because I was like, if you felt that way enough about someone to get a tattoo with them, then you better keep that shit. And so for a while I was getting it removed, and then I was like, you know what, I'm like being manipulated into thinking I should have this removed. I should not have it removed, because there was a moment in my life where I loved someone so dearly and like had like these like such intense feelings for them that I was willing to get a matching tattoo with them. So I still haven't. Much love to that person, even though they did me fucking dirty as hell. Much love to them. That's just the type of person I am. I can never talk shit on someone that I love that much. So that's my word for that. But yeah, so it's not removed. It just is a little bit removed, but it's still there. Then I have this one, and it says, even the darkest night will end and the sun will shine. That's such an important quote. I've always loved that quote because it's just so true. It really is so true. That's pretty self-explanatory. Then over here we have the evil eye, and then we also have the moon phase. Just another spiritual tattoo. I'm obsessed with it. It also has snakes around it. I love snakes. All my tattoos are very like corresponding, I feel like, which I really, really love. But that's kind of self-explanatory. Then I have these, which this was also just for placement, so it could all kind of like go together. Then I have 4 for 4, and I also have 111 on my neck. Obviously, you know, if you know about angel numbers, you know, those are my angel numbers. And then I also have my spine tat, which is my astrology, and it was actually drawn for me, which I think is so cool, because literally no one in this world will ever have this tattoo, because it was literally personalized, drawn for me, which it's one of my favorites, because it's just, I just love it so much. But yeah, my spine tat, amazing. Amazing. I posted about the girl before that did it if you guys want to check her out. Then over here, I have a face tat. A face tat, baby. So it's actually my mom's birth year, 1983, and it's just on the side. I kind of want to get something over here too, because I just really like the way that it looks. I don't know, I just love it. I just really love it. It's so cute. It's like one of my favorites, and it's my mom's birth year. Then I have this one in the middle, which is a good luck symbol. So pretty self-explanatory. I have self-love right here. One of my first tattoos represents self-love. It's really all I can say. Self-love is so important. I feel like you can't love anyone until you have self-love. Don't know how much I can preach that. And then over here I have my angel wings with the date. You guys know what the date is of that. When I first talked about it, a lot of people didn't understand why I had a tattoo for that. They were like, why would you have a tattoo for that? And I actually saw another girl posted about having a tattoo for that, and I was like, you literally read my mind. People don't realize how much of a traumatizing experience that is to go through. They also don't realize that just because you made that choice for yourself, that it means that still wasn't an important thing to you and you still didn't care. Because trust me, you care. It's just really hard, and if you know you're not ready, it's just a hard situation, and it sucks, and it's traumatizing, and it's emotional, and it's one of the craziest things I've ever experienced in my life. I know that everyone close to me knows that I made the right decision for myself, and that's all that matters. So that's kind of the story behind that. If you know, you know. I'm sure you all know. And then I have this one, which goes across, and it says, don't underestimate the allure of darkness. Even the purest hearts are drawn to it. And that's from Vampire Diaries. For one, Vampire Diaries is just one of my favorite shows. But that quote was so important because it's so true. Like, you might think that someone is like so pure and so sweet, and they're really evil. And most of the time, like, the purest people are drawn to the evil because they see what they can get from people, and they see what they can get from money. And so there's just a lot of evilness in this world, and don't let someone's like niceness or sweetness or pureness distract you from their evilness. And that's kind of what I always say. And I just love Vampire Diaries, so that's another thing. And then I have my koi fish over here, which you can't really see. You can see a little bit. I'm like pulling up my shirt to show you guys this. I never finished it because it was painful as hell. Hopefully one day I finish it, but I have not. But I'm a Pisces. Pisces things, you know. If you're a Pisces and you don't have a Pisces tattoo, you're gonna get one. It's just a Pisces thing. I also have my little Pisces sign right there on my hip. Hip tats hurt like bitch. I don't know what it is because I can literally take all of this, but my hip tat, it was going crazy. It was going crazy. I also have a wave. Is it on this side? that was one of my first tattoos. I always say this. This is like my own quote that I made, okay? Life is literally like an ocean, okay? There is shallow parts that are really easy to walk in. They're easy to see. There's deep parts that you can't see nothing. You don't know what's going on below you. It's scary. There's things in the ocean that we'll probably never know about because it's just so big. There's things in life that we'll never know about or we'll never even get to see. It's beautiful though at the end of the day. There's also like all these like scary things in the ocean, just like there's all these scary things in life, but at the end of the day it's one of the most beautiful things in the world, and no matter what, everyone loves the ocean. Like everyone loves to look at photos of it, everyone loves to go in it, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like life is literally like an ocean. At the end of the day, life is scary. There's scary parts of it. There's scary people in the world. It can be gross sometimes, and it can also be some of the most beautiful things you'll ever see. So yeah. So then I have this, which is a dream catcher, and then I also have this that say dreams are my escape. I really do feel like dreams are your escape. So I see things in my dreams. Like I have a really good intuition, and I always see things in my dreams. And I remember there was one time where like I was getting cheated on in a relationship, and I was having dreams every single night that I was getting cheated on, and I was. So your dreams are telling you something. Whether you want to believe it or not, they are telling you something. And that's kind of what that tattoo represents. I'm also obsessed with dream catchers. If you couldn't tell, you know, I just have a whole collection of them and I collect them. My Nana was obsessed with dream catchers. She had them all over her house, and I've just always been obsessed with them. But yeah, those are my tattoos. Do you like the tattoo tour? I know you guys have been asking away. But yeah, hand tats, painful as hell. Finger tats, painful as hell. This was like a 4 out of 10. I don't know how. The back was like a 3 out of 10. The stomach like a 8 out of 10. It was pretty painful. The arms are like a 5. They're really like not that bad. The wrist for me is like a 3. Just depends on the area. But go get that tattoo. This is your sign. Go get that shit, because it will look good as hell. And you guys also wanted to see my new bed when I got it, so I wanted to just like show you guys. I need to pick up my room, but it's looking good. It's looking good, okay? But yeah, that's my tattoo tour. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tap the bell, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye.